Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 7 at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Saturday is the Grade 1 Derby City Distaff featuring champion Gamine. Before we get to the analysis, remember to head on over to DRF.com for your one-stop Derby shop. Derby packages, past performances, betting strategies, clocker reports. It's all there at DRF.com for the Kentucky Derby. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Derby Distaff. How low will Gamine go on the tote, Mike? She's 1-5 and deservedly so. Not only is she the most likely winner on form, she looks like the lone speed.
She sure does. I don't know that there is a price too low for her in here, Dan. I mean, obviously you don't want to just concede races to horses, especially Grade 1 races, but man, she towers over these horses.
And it doesn't appear there's anyone that can run with her. As we throw up the time form U.S. pace projector, Gamine, the winner of last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, is expected to make the lead in a blue bar situation, which is what happened last time out for Gamine in the Grade 3 Las Flores, which was nothing more than a paid public workout.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like a morning breeze for her there in the Grade 3 Las Flores. A short field, got right to the top in there, never really had to get down to serious business, won for fun. Going 2 starts back in the Breeders' Cup, Dan. She runs a race like that. I mean, how many does she win by?
The number 1 is Estilo Talentoso. Mike, I think you've been right about this horse because this horse was second, dead heated for second with Bell's the One in the Grade 1 Madison last time out at a whopping 50-1 odds. And you mentioned in her seasonal debut at Tampa, she really was up close to a fast pace going 2 turns. And ever since she cut back in distance, she's just gotten better. That Barbara Frenchy, I thought she might have been a little bit too conservatively ridden and given too much to do in Hibiscus Punch Beater. Last time out, she ran well. She didn't change leads in the stretch, but that was a really good effort.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought she had a little bit of an excuse too back. She ran fine last time. Just the kind of race where Kamari, the odds-on favorite, was a little bit too good for that field. This filly kept up close, spent a little time between horses, and then maybe backed out of that spot to give away a little bit of position. I thought she was really game to dead heat for second.
Sconson won the Grade 2 8 bells over course and trip last year as a 3-year-old filly, but that was a race that featured a pace meltdown, 180-degree different scenario expected on Kentucky Derby Saturday. This filly was a disappointment last time out in the Madison. I know there wasn't a ton of pace in that race, but she never got out of first gear.
I agree with you that she was disappointing last time. She just never really picked up any kind of a run after trailing that field early. Obviously, it really wasn't going to matter. That race wasn't coming back for her, but she was disappointing last time. We know that she's better than that. She ran several good races last year as a 3-year-old. I'm perfectly willing to give her the benefit of the doubt here, Dan. I know the pace isn't going to be fast in front of her here, though. But, you know, Gamine's not just going to walk around the track this time. This is a Grade 1. So if she goes a little bit faster, runs some of the other horses out of the race, I can see Sconson getting a piece of this.
Bell's the One won this race last year when it was contested in the fall, again, based on a tremendous pace that softened up favored Serengeti Empress. Now, let's go back to the Madison. Her seasonal debut, you're going to see Bell's the One. She's a late runner. She's in behind horses. Estilo Talentoso is to the outside in the black cap. They'll finish on even terms. I thought this was a useful effort for Bell's the One. Obviously, the connections were hoping for a little bit more pace in this race. If somehow they get pace, this filly can kick.
Yeah, she certainly can. I mean, she's the most likely upsetter if, you know, Gamine somehow either gets hooked up or just doesn't show up and run her race. This is the horse that's most likely to run her down in the stretch. She's really good, Dan. Won this race last year, as you mentioned, with a really good setup. And even her Breeders' Cup was fine. She ran fine last time. She's got several races that make her a big player in here. You know, it's unfortunate for her that Gamine shows up in this spot, because if Gamine runs her A race, Bell's the One can't beat her.
Gamine has never lost around 1 turn. The only time she did lose was at Churchill Downs, but that was at a distance likely too far for her in the Kentucky Oaks when facing some very good fillies, Swiss Skydiver and She Dares the Devil, and playing their game. Let's watch the Las Flores, the seasonal debut. This is just a morning stroll in the park for Gamine, who got to an easy lead in a 4-horse field and cruises on home. I mean, she ran a 110 buyer speed figure in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She doesn't have to run that or anything close likely to win here.
Yeah, her Breeders' Cup was a tremendous effort, as were her prior 2 1-turn races in the Test and the Acorn. I mean, it's pretty clear with anybody who has a set of PPs that she just towers over this field, and if she runs her race, she's going to win.
Hibiscus Punch began her career on turf and synthetic, but she's really found herself switching to dirt for Justin Nixon on the Mid-Atlantic area. Let's watch her win in the Barbara Frenchy, going 7/8 of a mile. This race was supposed to feature a battle between the two speeds who we see tiring the Hibiscus Punches inside. But let's give Hibiscus Punch some credit. She traveled pretty sweetly behind that hot pace. She takes over the lead, and she'll hold off a drifting Estillo Talentoso. By far, this was her best effort, Mike, but it was only an 87 buyer.
Right. I'm not going to take anything away from her here. She earned this victory, set a good trip, and did what she had to do to pull off a really big upset in there. We already sort of talked about how Estillo Talentoso maybe didn't get the greatest ride in the world in there, but still, it doesn't diminish what Hibiscus Punch did. The question now is, can she take another big step forward?
Unique factor is cutting back in distance off the layoff. Seems like a tough spot off the layoff after tiring badly in a one-turn mile in the Grade 3 Chaluki. She's run some decent sprints, but again, this is a mare that is yet to run a fast race, and she's facing one of the fastest filly and mare sprinters we've seen in recent years.
Right, and she's another horse in this field who really just wants to sit back and make one run, and that's not going to play in this race.
Gamine, obviously the horse to beat. We take a look at our top selections. I am curious to see if Bell's the One can kick in the stretch with her, or at least try to stay closer. Something tells me that's not going to be the plan. I think Corey Lannery is just going to take back, and they're going to be happy to run second if there is no pace up front. And if there is, they'll give it a shot. Gamine's obviously the horse to beat. Bell's the One, a slightly better price.
Yeah, certainly. I just, didn't really spend a lot of time trying to beat Gamine, Dan. I just don't see how she really loses here unless something goes wrong.
4-3, 3-4 for us in the Grade 1 Derby City Distaff. It's race number 7 at Churchill Downs on the first Saturday in May. Good luck.